hold up, what's this?
What?
The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending?
What?
We're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
What?
That's really how all this goes?
Oh, don't tell me that.
Determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really?
What?
No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on.
I'll restart
I don't want to be
it.
trapped like this. I won't restart the
Both
game. I won't
doors
do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the time return stopped. Does that mean did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The whatever it is that made this schedule?
Can't
How would we even know?
find the confusion ending.
Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay.
Try and remember this, right?
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree?
I can't even
I'm
sit
not quite
down.
sure if we're in the destination or the journey. Though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime...
I don't know what's more hurtful. The fact that it keeps on restarting, or the fact that I know it's got 3 more restarts to go. Why? So I try and go through it. It prevents me. I think that's what it said.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm going straight there. I'm not dealing with this shit.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Good. Let's go there. Meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Okay. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to
Good.
his boss's office.
I'm not dealing with the confusion ending. What's down there? Executive bathroom. Bit of a bad ceiling. They're closed. They're open.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Got a little dot.
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Okay. Lift. Oh, shit. There we go.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself. to question the nature of his
How
job.
far down are we going?
Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Ah.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
But I'm very tempted.
Although this passageway had the word Escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Ah. Mind
But
control
of course,
facility then.
Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for.
It's fucking dark in here. How far down does that go? Ah. Light switch, I hope.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens.
I was up there!
What horrible secret did this place hold?
That one says
Stanley thought to
pirate.
himself.
Another
Did
one
he
up there
have
says
the
pirate.
strength to find out?
But... Oh, okay. Moving on.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature
Pirate.
revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Lift going up, I hope? Looks like it.
This mind control
Fine.
facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was
Oh.
happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
How does it know when I want to go up?
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable.
Stop being so
Wasn't it?
melodramatic.
Was it even possible?
Eat a
Had he
Snickers.
truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Probably.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Loads of stairs, big white button, does. Park all. What did he say? Something about dismantling. Alright. What's the big red button do? Nothing, you can't click it. Great. Facility bow. Alright.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
How is this meant to work then? Because surely if I'm meant to press off, it would already be on. So I couldn't press on anyway. So I've got no choice but to push off or try and get back. Never mind. Oh. Please not another loading screen. Please no. Ah. There's a line there. Sounds a bit ominous.
And a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over?
Please say it is.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine.
Yay!
Unshackled himself from someone else's command.
Can't see
Freedom was mere
shit.
moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
Let's do a black bit.
Stanley felt the cool breeze.
I got no
upon
control.
his skin,
It's moving by itself.
the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh. That's good. Well, I won. Nope. No, I haven't. Great. Just not back to the first bit. Not back to the office. Somewhere else. Another map, maybe. I'd like that. What? No. Well, it's the first screen. 47. That's always. But lots of paper. Everywhere.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I think the memo is spread out across the office.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Good. Let's go there. To the meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Get Chris out of the broom closet. Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper sanitizing guy. Who moved my desk? Get Chris out of the broom closet. Okay. Everyone is unique. Okay. Broom closet. Oh.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
That narrator's really going to get on my tits in a minute.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody.
Shit.
He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I did.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the